welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the epic love story of Zeus and Hera, one of the most captivating tales from Greek mythology. Now, when we think of love stories, we usually imagine something sweet, romantic, maybe a little cheesy. Well, buckle up, because the relationship between the king and queen of the gods is anything but typical. We're talking cosmic love triangles, divine power struggles, and enough jealousy to make even the green-eyed monster blush. So, get ready for a wild ride through the cosmos of Greek mythology. Chapter 1. From Titans to Rulers, the Lineage of Zeus and Hera. Before we can understand the fireworks between Zeus and Hera, we need to go back to their roots, and I mean back. We're talking about the Age of the Titans, those primordial forces that ruled the cosmos before the Olympian gods took over. Zeus wasn't born king. His father was Cronus, the Titan of Time, who swallowed his children whole because of a prophecy that one of them would overthrow him. Hera's lineage is no less impressive. She's the daughter of Cronus and Rhea, which makes her both sister-wife to Zeus. Zeus, after a daring escape from his father's stomach, waged war against the Titans and ultimately emerged victorious, becoming the ruler of the heavens. Hera grew up to be a powerful goddess in her own right, associated with marriage, women, and childbirth. So, you've got these two powerhouses, both with lineage tied to the very creation of the cosmos, destined to rule side by side. Little wonder their relationship was so explosive. Chapter 2. Love, Zeus Style, A Courtship of Trickery. Now let's talk about how these two crazy kids got together. Zeus, smitten by Hera's beauty, decided to woo her. However, Hera, known for her strong will and independence, wasn't easily swayed. She rejected his advances, which, if you know Zeus, wasn't something he was used to. But Zeus was persistent, some might even say relentless. He tried everything to win her over, but Hera saw through his charm. She knew of his reputation as, shall we say, romantically adventurous and wasn't about to be just another conquest. So, what's a god to do when plan A fails? Well, if you're Zeus, you come up with a plan B. He transformed himself into a pitiful little cuckoo bird, all wet and shivering, appealing to Hera's compassion. When she took the bird in her arms to comfort it, bam! Zeus revealed his true form, and well, let's just say Hera didn't have much choice after that. Chapter 3. A Wedding for the Ages, the Union of Zeus and Hera. Okay, so the courtship was ... plicated. But what about the wedding? Surely the union of the king and queen of the gods was an event for the ages, right? The heavens themselves rejoiced, with golden light bathing Mount Olympus, the gods' celestial abode. Guests included, well, everyone who was anyone in the Greek pantheon. The nymphs danced, the muses sang, and even Hades showed up to offer his, somewhat begrudging, congratulations. Gaia, the Earth Mother herself, presented Hera with a wondrous gift, a magical tree bearing golden apples that granted immortality. The festivities lasted for, well, time is a bit fluid when you're dealing with gods, but let's just say it was one heck of a party. But even in the midst of all the celebration, there were hints of the challenges to come. The seeds of jealousy, infidelity, and power struggles were already sown, threatening to disrupt the seemingly perfect union. Chapter 4. A Divine Power Couple, Dynamics of a Cosmic Marriage. Alright, so they're married. Now comes the real challenge, making this divine power couple actually work. On the surface, Zeus and Hera had a clear division of labor. Zeus, as king of the gods, was responsible for maintaining order in the cosmos. Hera, as queen, was the goddess of marriage, women, and childbirth. She was revered for her beauty, wisdom, and yes, her temper. But let's be real, this was no fairy tale marriage. Zeus, despite his love for Hera, was notorious for his, shall we say, wandering eye. He fathered a whole pantheon of demigods and heroes through his various affairs, which, as you can imagine, didn't sit well with Hera. Hera, for her part, was known for her jealousy and her penchant for revenge. She wasn't afraid to use her cunning and power to punish both Zeus's lovers and their illegitimate children. Talk about a dysfunctional family dynamic. Their relationship was a constant power struggle, a cosmic dance of love and conflict. Chapter 5. Love and Lightning Bolts, Jealousy and Infidelity on Mount Olympus. Now let's dive into the juicy stuff, the scandals, the drama, the all-too-human emotions that played out on a cosmic scale. Zeus, despite his love for Hera, was a serial philanderer. He had a thing for nymphs, mortals, even goddesses. Hera, understandably, wasn't thrilled about her husband's activities. She was fiercely jealous. Her wrath was legendary, often targeting Zeus's lovers and their offspring. Take, for example, the story of Leto, who gave birth to Zeus's twin children, Apollo and Artemis. Hera made it impossible for Leto to find a place to give birth. Zeus often went to great lengths to hide his affairs, transforming himself and his lovers to avoid Hera's wrath. Their relationship was a cosmic soap opera filled with jealousy, infidelity, and divine retribution. Chapter 6. When Gods and Monsters Collide, Myths, starring Zeus and Hera. The love story of Zeus and Hera wasn't confined to Mount Olympus. Their tumultuous relationship shaped the destinies of heroes, monsters, and civilizations. Take the story of the Trojan War. It started with a golden apple sparking a feud between goddesses. Zeus appointed Paris of Troy to choose the fairest. Paris chose Aphrodite's bribe, Helen of Sparta. Her abduction led to the Trojan War, with Zeus and Hera influencing the battle. Hera's wrath against Heracles showed her determination. Their myths shaped history and endure through time. Now, let's meet the kids, because when you're talking about the king and queen of the gods, their children aren't just rambunctious toddlers running around Mount Olympus. We're talking about major deities in their own right. Ares, the god of war, was Zeus and Hera's son, though some stories suggest Hera conceived him without Zeus's assistance. Hebe, the goddess of youth, was another of their children. She was often depicted as a cupbearer to the gods, serving them nectar. Hephaestus, the god of the forge, was a unique case. He was either the son of Zeus and Hera, or in some versions of the myth, Hera's alone. Born with a limp, Hephaestus was often portrayed as an outcast amongst the gods, but he was also incredibly skilled, creating magnificent weapons and armor, including Zeus's lightning bolts. The relationships between Zeus, Hera, and their children were, as you might expect, complicated. Hera often played favorites, favoring her children over Zeus's illegitimate offspring. Family dynamics on Mount Olympus were anything but simple. Chapter 8. Hell hath no fury, Hera's wrath and revenge. We've talked about Hera's jealousy, but let's be real. She was capable of a special kind of wrath, a fury that could shake the very foundations of the cosmos. Remember that whole protector of marriage thing? Hera took it seriously, maybe a little seriously. She wasn't just content to glare at Zeus from across the dinner table when he misbehaved. Oh no, Hera was all about creative, often terrifying, revenge. Take, for example, her treatment of poor Io, one of Zeus's many paramours. Hera decided to turn Io into a cow and tormented her with a gadfly. And let's not forget about Callisto, another of Zeus's friends. Hera transformed Callisto into a bear, and Callisto's own son, Arcas, nearly killed her while hunting. Thankfully, Zeus intervened, turning both Callisto and Arcas into constellations. Hera's wrath wasn't always directed at Zeus's lovers. Sometimes she took her anger out on the poor saps who got caught in the crossfire. Remember that whole Trojan War thing? Yeah, Hera held a grudge against the Trojans for a really long time. Hera's revenge was legendary, and her wrath was something to be feared. Chapter 9. Beyond the Myths, Symbols of Zeus and Hera. Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk symbolism. Because in mythology, it's not just about the stories themselves, but what those stories represent. Zeus, as you might expect, was associated with all things powerful and majestic. His symbol was the thunderbolt, representing his authority over the heavens. He was often depicted with an eagle, a symbol of strength, courage, and keen vision. Hera, on the other hand, was represented by symbols of beauty, marriage, and royalty. The peacock, with its iridescent plumage, was sacred to her. She was also associated with the pomegranate, a fruit representing fertility, abundance, and the cycle of life and death. These symbols weren't just decorative, they reflected the ancient Greeks' understanding of these deities, their roles in the cosmos, and their influence on the lives of mortals. Even today, these symbols resonate with us. We see the thunderbolt and we think of power, of unstoppable force. These symbols, passed down through millennia, still hold the power to evoke emotions and connect us to the myths and beliefs of a civilization long gone. Chapter 10. A Love Story for the Ages, The Legacy of Zeus and Hera. Well folks, we've reached the end of our journey through the cosmic soap opera that is Zeus and Hera's love story. But before we wrap up, let's take a moment to appreciate the enduring legacy of this divine power couple. Their story, for all its drama, jealousy, and infidelity, has captivated audiences for millennia. Zeus and Hera may have been gods, but their emotions, their flaws, their struggles resonate with us even today. Their story reminds us that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges, love can endure. Outro. Until next time, the myths live on. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the love story of Zeus and Hera, Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating tales from mythology. See you next time.